According to the graph from the World Religions Population, as you can see here, 32.5% of the world's population is with the Christian religion. 21.5% is with the Islamic religion, and only 16% of the world's population is non-conforming to a religion. Hi, my name is Francesca Manger, and my research question is, to what extent does groupthink in a religion negatively impact decision-making in adulthood? My argument is groupthink has a negative impact on decision-making in adulthood. My claims are negative peer pressure from religion, harmful following, and negative synchronicity. Negative peer pressure. When people in religion think that they follow their leaders, whether they agree or not, because it's human nature to avoid conflicts, and protesting against a belief or action that religious leaders want their people to conform with, when they disagree, it may cause some conflict in their relationship with their religion. Additionally, it is human nature to want to conform and feel structure to a society, which leaves people vulnerable to the negative effects of peer pressure. In this study, it shows here between 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds, when they were shown a face, they were measured in how they conform and when they rate people and how attractive they think they are. In the 5-year-olds, you can see that the results are mostly varied. In the blue, it shows that the 5-year-olds thought they were less attractive. In the black, it thought they were mediumly rated attractive. And in the red, they thought the person that they were rating was attractive. And for 6-year-olds, as you can see here, they conformed more, as a majority of the 6-year-olds thought that the person was very attractive. Again, it shows here the different fundamentals of religion. In this scale, it shows that people in religious attendance, spirituality, and identification all thought that conformity was a main fundamental part of religion. Harmful following. Religion can have negative impacts and discriminate against the LGBT community by when people manipulate the word of religion and extremist behavior. And it shows here in the Catholic Charities versus DCFS, the Church insisted that marriage should be limited to a union between a man and women. In the Vatican's view, same-sex marriages are not part of God's plan for family and raising children. As a result of the Vatican and the Catholic belief not agreeing with same-sex marriage, it leads to Catholic Charities that allowed for adoptions for children in Illinois, exclude unmarried couples from adopting, even if they've entered a union, which leaves them to be left out of adopting a family. Even if they may be a good and fitting family for this child, they are denied this because the Catholic Church did not agree with the same sex for marriage. Additionally, in Ward versus Wilbanks, a student in the counseling program claims the right to discriminate against clients who wish to discuss same-sex relationships on the grounds that it violates her religious beliefs. So this student was a counselor at a college, and she was in a program to become a counselor, and somebody that was in the LGBT community came to her to talk about her same-sex relationship, but she ended up not seeing that person because it said that it violated her religion. As a result, she was dismissed from the program, as this was not okay to use to discriminate against people. And it shows here that 4.5% of the United States population identifies in the LGBTQ plus community, and over 39 of these people reported having mental illnesses. This just shows that this discrimination against the people who need it the most. This also shows harmful following. In this graph, it shows here the severity of religion-related terrorist activities by number of casualties. As you can see here, from 2007 all the way up to 2014, it has increased significantly, as many people are using religion and manipulation of the word of religion to cause acts of discrimination and harm against other people. Religious synchronous effects. It lowers creativity capacity of adolescents and lowers the individualism in adolescents that are religious conforming. In this graph here, in the light blue, it shows a control of the study where it shows the creativity, complexity, word count, informational pulling, initial argument, and repetitions of children who are not religious conforming. And in the darker colors, in this case here, in the black at the top and then the dark purple at the bottom, it shows the people who weren't highly affected by synchronicity all experienced lower levels of creativity, complexity, word count, informational pulling, initial argument, and higher levels of repetition. The notion that the Catholic Church, for example, had the ability to write or excommunicate an individual. Back in the later centuries, the Catholic Church heavily had an influence on people's lifestyles, and when they did not conform to a religion such as the beliefs in the Catholic Church had the right to exclude or shun this person from society as a whole. As a result, this shows that in some cases the peer pressure to fit in because of the fear of persecution was a powerful way for religion to gain control over people in society. This is from the 5 major courts, and it showed that group structure, decision-making, decision characteristics, and salient norms, that this was a study based off of what they thought was important in decision-making, and a majority of it was in the group structure. Conclusion. Negative peer pressure forces people into beliefs, and it manipulates the world of religion because it causes harmful following, and religious conformity causes a decrease in creativity and individualism. This connects to the stimulus because it shows how religious synchronicity can decrease creativity and individualism, and how groupthink can affect a society. And these are the resources I used. Thank you. Any questions?
Yes, I have 2 questions for you. First up, what evidence did you gather that you didn't use, and then why did you choose to not use it?
Evidence I gathered that I did not use was how when individuals, when they were children that were heavily influenced by religion in their younger years, were affected by groupthink and creativity. The reason I did not use this was because it did not effectively show how in a whole in a society specifically could affect decision making in adulthood.
All right, and if you had any more time, what additional research would you have done?
If I had more time, any additional research I would do is to show how different religions more specifically affected decision making.